Imagine if it was just one person. How much time would it take to complete everything? Well, it kind of opens up their eyes and they realize, hey, doing stuff together probably is a lot better than doing it alone.
Parenthood is challenging enough as it is, and getting organized sounds easier said than done. Now, combine these two together, and it's truly a balancing act that many of us struggle with day in, day out. If you're here, it's because you want to know how to get your life and home more organized and structured where the kids are involved too, so that parent life is a little easier and you can focus on what truly matters. Hey there, I'm Dianne 𝘠𝗏𝘠, owner and founder of One Tidy Place. I created this podcast because I know parents have their hands full. I know this because I have 3 kids of my own. Each week, we'll talk about all things organizing, teaching kids life skills, and contributing to the home, being on the same page with your partner, and raising your kids together while you tidy up, go out for a walk, or just need some real talk. I'm here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Welcome to episode number 47 in Parenting Guide Organizing Habits Made Easy podcast. I'm trying something new to incorporate video with this podcast. So you can watch this on YouTube and subscribe while you're there. And if you're listening on podcast, well, nothing's changed for you. But if you're ever curious to find out what I look like or listen to my podcast episodes in a different way, head to YouTube because I'm there and you see my face. And it's just me. I hope to see you on either of the platforms. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you know when the next episode will be out. Hey, before we start, have you grabbed my cheat sheet yet on how to decrease laundry overwhelm? Find out the strategies that other people are using, families with 3 or more kids. So head to diannejimenez.com/laundry overwhelm, all one word, and find out which strategy works best for you and your family to help decrease laundry overwhelm. So bear with me if there's any kind of glitches or anything. That's probably due to editing post-production. I'm trying a new recording system and app at the same time. So a lot of things going on right now, and I'm very excited to try it and put it out there and see where this takes me. So the question I'm going to answer today is, what are the effective ways to teach my children the importance of teamwork in handling household responsibilities? This is a great question. I love it because I never really thought about it as far as it being a teamwork thing. I just think of it as I have to teach my kids to do chores and we all have to pitch in and help out and share the tasks. So I guess in a way it is a teamwork kind of thing because we're all working together to maintain the home and making sure that everybody's helping out and doing their part in maintaining the home. So it's not always on one person. So there are 3 things that came to mind when it comes to teaching my children the importance of teamwork. Because a lot of times I hear parents say, how do you get your kids, have one kid doing more than the other kid, or they fight because one person wants to do this and the other person wants to do the same thing as their sibling, and it's so annoying, so I just end up doing it myself. I get that. And yeah, sometimes it happens at our house too. But the 3 things that I want to emphasize for this question is something that I apply and we apply at home. And it's exactly that. I just said it. It's using the words that are very inclusive to everyone. I use the words we and let's. Let's clean up the house. Let's put away the dishes from the dishwasher and the dish rack. Let's clean up the table to make sure everything's ready for the next meal, which is going to be in 5-6 hours, for instance, right? So I use a lot of the times we, even though, say, I'm busy doing something else or have to put my focus or attention on something else, whether it's work or helping another kid with something else, we are doing the task together, but we're all helping each other out. So while that kid does, let's say, the laundry, the other one is sweeping the stairs, and the other one is wiping the mirrors in the bathroom, we're all cleaning the house. We're all getting ready for our house to be clean for when the guests come over or whatever. So I find the language and the words that we use is very important when trying to get everyone involved, using the word let's and we before requesting or before starting the tasks, and also afterwards, but I'll talk about that in a second. The second thing that's important for ensuring that there's teamwork or teaching teamwork within my kids is to list out the chores that need to get done. You know, as parents or as the person who's mainly at home because I work from home, I see everything. So I can list a whole bunch of things that need to get done from now until next week. But for kids and for most adults, it's a long list and doing everything is very overwhelming. So I try to break it down into the specific things that I want done for that day or for the time that we have. So for instance, back when we were in quarantine or when the kids are home for long periods of time, even during the summertime, we're not going to spend a whole day cleaning, but I want to make sure that the house gets addressed too. It's not just play, play, play and going out and, eating it out all the time. No, we have to come back to the home and maintain the house. So I will make a list of the things that need to get done. And I've done this also in the past where I would associate how hard it was, like easy, hard, easy, hard. So to make sure that the kids see that, each of them are doing a hard task and each of them have an easy task. But I find that it's very subjective when you talk about easy, hard, because whatever is easy for one kid might be hard for another kid, right? So instead, I will use time. So say toilet cleaning is 10, 15 minutes and dusting just like the living room area is 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 10 minutes. The kids can tally up and see who has a little bit more, who's doing more of the work and another one is doing less of the work. So I'm not sure if you understand me, but say one person takes 15 minutes to do a task, then the other ones can do equal amounts, but multiple smaller tasks. You know what I mean? So if something is 15 minutes, then something else can be 5 minutes. Clearing out the table is 5 minutes. Putting away the laundry baskets is 5 minutes. Just dusting an area could be 5 minutes for someone. So as long as everybody has equal amounts of time and doing their part, it can all be done together. And putting it out on paper, especially, and organizing it that way, and then grouping them all together and saying, hey, this is what we're going to do today. This is the list of the things that we're going to do today. And here, beside each task, is the amount of time it should take normally for this to be done. I also emphasize to my kids, like, it's either going to take you this amount of time or it's going to take you a lot longer if you dilly-dally, if you start chatting it up and, getting distracted with other things. And it could happen, right? So I kind of tell them, like, just be mindful that you're focusing on one thing. And if we want to do other things and play and go outside or play video games later on, we want to do this as quickly as possible and try not to get distracted. So I hope you got that. I hope that wasn't too much of a babble, but right. Point is, lay it out on the paper, assign time slots to it, and then get them to see what needs to be done. Sometimes I'll also, they've been doing this for a while now, they pick and choose which one they like to do and that they're good at. So to them, it's getting done faster, and to them, it's like 5 minutes, whereas someone else was going to try the new task, it might take 20 minutes, right? And their whole goal is to get things done fast so that they can move on to the next fun activity. So sometimes that happens. They will pick and choose what they want to do. And then there's some negotiating going on, kind of like, oh, well, you always get to do that. Okay, so I'll give you this in exchange for that. And then in the end, it ends up working. So my kids have been doing this for quite some time now. So they're able to have that conversation and that negotiation and stuff. But if you're just starting it out, you're starting this and want to implement teamwork in it, make a list, draw it out, tell them these are the things that need to be done. These are the hard things, or these are the ones that take a lot longer. I need us to split it up so that you can do such and such tasks, and the other kids can do such and such tasks, and we all approximately have the same amount of work to do. All right, cool. And the last thing where I teach my kids the importance of teamwork is I always try to. I I end the once we're all done everything, it's kind of like a high five, thanks guys, this is a great job. Maybe not at the end all the time, but throughout when I see them doing something, I see them working hard or like they're hustling to get things done. It's like, wow, great job. And thanks for like, grabbing that for me. That was really helpful. Then I was able to do something else, or like I completely forgot that I had to do that. So thank you so much. And, so when we're all done and we're finally enjoying, say, watching a movie or going out to the mall, it's like, see guys, remember, look at the time now. Look what time it is. It's 2 o'clock. And then we started this back. I remember looking at the clock. It was probably at 1 o'clock, right? And it took us maybe an hour from start to getting into the car. So in reality, cleaning up and tidying up the living room and the kitchen and everything really just took a half an hour for all of us to help and pitch in, right? So imagine if this was all on one person, usually me, to do, you guys would still be at home waiting for me to clean and fix everything and put things away before we can go to the mall. So having that kind of like realization of how long the task takes at the end, with saying, imagine if it was just one person, how much time would it take to complete everything? Well, it kind of opens up their eyes and they realize, hey, doing stuff together probably is a lot better than doing it alone. So there you have it. These are my 3 tips on teaching children how to make maintaining the house more of a teamwork, team effort kind of thing. So I hope this helps, and I hope you try at least one of these tips. So just to recap the 3 tips and strategies that I have for teaching my children the importance of teamwork when handling responsibilities at home. So those are, number 1, using the words that are including everyone. It's not just an I and a you thing, it's a we. Let's clean up the house. Let's help each other out so that we can do something fun later on. So using let's and we both at the beginning when you request, when you state that we have to clean the house, to at the end saying, well, we did such a great job. It's so fun when we all do this together. Number 2 is listing out the chores on a paper or on a whiteboard so that they can see what needs to be done, assigning time slots of how much time it takes to do these, and then assigning a task for each kid so that they each have an equal amount of time or equal amount of minutes of doing the chore. If you really want to get technical and fancy, you can say, okay, well, you're doing a chore for 15 minutes. You're doing another chore for 20 minutes. And if that happens, you can say, well, the person who finished faster can help up the other person or help me out because I'm doing a chore that requires a lot more work and more focus and more time. So you can help me out once you're done, right? Or you can help your sibling get ready so we can be ready to go. All right. So then number 3 is ending everything with a praise and a gratitude for everyone. Again, using the words, thank you so much. We did such a great job. This was so awesome doing all of this together. It took less time for us to tidy up than it would have if it was one person. All right. So I leave you with that. And if you liked this episode, please put a like and a thumbs up. And if you aren't yet following Parenting Guide, Organizing Habits Made Easy podcast, follow it on your favorite platform. And if you're on Apple Podcast, don't forget to leave a review because sometimes I actually read out reviews from people. So please write them out. And the more reviews and stars and follows that there are on my podcast, the more it will boost it up into the algorithm and there'll be more eyeballs seeing this podcast show and helping out other parents out there who might need to hear this episode or some of the episodes that I've posted already. So thank you once again for being here, taking me along on your journey. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.